Hello and welcome. We are currently on the campaign trail in Kulgam in the Kashmir Valley and I have a very special guest. The chief of the People's Democratic Party, Mehbooba Mufti, now joins us. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us during this assembly campaign. How have you been? It's been such a long time
I'm good,
since we've seen you.
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Though, we just finished parliament election campaigning and now we start assembly. It becomes a little tiring at times, but it's okay, I'm fine.
But it's been a long time since we've had an opportunity to meet you
exactly.
in person and you've been largely staying away from the media, so thank you for taking out time. How is this assembly election shaping up from your lens and the lens of the PDP?
Well, it's a different election. If you compare it to the parliament election, that was a different one and it's a different thing. Today people are very keen to vote because they feel there is so much of suppression and there is no way to express your feelings, your anger, your anguish. So they feel ballot is the best way to do that, and I feel people are very enthusiastic about it.
Ma'am, during the Lok Sabha elections we saw that the PDP no longer seems to be the strong party it was in the Kashmir Valley a few elections ago. You know, when I convert your Lok Sabha trends into assembly segments, they're just a handful. Your vote percentage is down to single digits. Where do you think and why has this gone wrong?
Well, I think the reason is very obvious. PDP became the target of agencies, BJP. They broke our party. They lured our leaders, at least 40, who were MLAs, who were MLCs, who were Rajya Sabha members, who were Lok Sabha members. And if you take 40 leaders out of a small regional party, what's left of the party? But thankfully, our workers stayed with us and we were able to, build from a scratch once again. We are doing that. We are still in the process. And that's also one of the reasons that, parliament election, the result of the parliament election was not what it could have been. And also, as far as the parliament election is concerned, it was not fought, on the party base. It was fought mostly on, Peer, Murid, that kind of stuff, religious stuff, and but the basic reason is that our party was fragmented, and we are still recouping from that.
Ma'am, during the Lok Sabha elections and even now during the assembly election, we had an opportunity to go to places like Baramulla, Shopian, Anantnag. I sense a lot of enthusiasm amongst voters, particularly amongst young voters. In Shopian, where you couldn't go without an army cavalcade, now shops are open. The Prime Minister and Amit Shah look at this and say, "Dekho, ye hai naya Kashmir." Log khule mein ghum rahe hain, bin tension ke ghum rahe hain. Pehle, the Home Minister, Sushil Shinde, said, "Mujhe dar lagta tha Kashmir mein jana."
No, I think you have shown only half of his statement. I'm sorry to say that. But when you convert a whole valley into an open-air prison, what do people do about it? Because you just can't, Rahul, you just can't post a single sentence on social media which the government thinks is not good enough. I mean, if you just say that we don't want a wine shop in our vicinity, next day the SHO goes and tells the guy, take off the post, otherwise I'll book you under PSA. So that is the, that is how, people are being, in a way, terrorized into submission. Yes, people show a lot of enthusiasm in this election because they want to express themselves. They want to give message to New Delhi that we are ready with a ballot rather than a bullet now.
But isn't that a big change by itself? Just the fact that there are no hartals, there's no stone pelting of the kind there was, there's no hartal calendar like the Hurriyat used to put out earlier. That by itself seems like a big change.
But it's coming at a very huge cost. It's a good thing. But what is the cost we are paying? PSA, UAPA, ED, NIA, SIA, SIU, you name the agencies, they are there, to harass people, to, as I said earlier, also to suppress people, to terrorize them into submission. It's not going to last forever. This is a peace, but this is a peace of graveyard. This is a peace of suppression. And once you lift the pressure, it's going to blow into your face. Unless and until you don't engage with people, you don't reconcile with people, you don't, follow a policy of reconciliation rather than suppression.
The other big change I see is the infrastructure, the big highways. Again, the government cites that as development, that corruption in comparison to the
Oh my-
past they claim is
oh
down
my
and more
God.
infrastructure. How do
Oh
you
my-
respond to that?
What happens to Shivaji's, statue? What is happening all over the country where roads are, being built, and once the Prime Minister inaugurates them, they just, crumble. As far as the national highway is concerned, it is not thanks to this government. It's thanks, it was initiated by Atal Bihari Vajpayee during my father's first tenure, and then completed by the UAPA government, taken forward, and now it's complete. So no credit goes to them, even the medical colleges, which are coming up almost in every district.
So you don't see any Naya Kashmir at all?
Oh my God! Yeah, there is a Naya Kashmir which is being, run by agencies, by ED, by NIA, by slapping PSA, UAPA. Even journalists are not spared. If anybody talks, the truth, then next day, what happened to to many of our journalists. I don't want to name them. Fahad Shah. That is the end they meet. So maybe, they are able, BJP is very good at painting pictures, everything is hanky-dory, everything is fine. But if you start scratching on the surface, the unfortunate thing is no Kashmiri is going to confide in you. As it used to happen earlier when a journalist used to come, a TV, used to come to a place, people would shout, they would say things. But now they are too scared even to confide in you, even in a closed door, because they know if the thing goes out, I'll be in jail for years to come.
वो तो अच्छा ही बोल रहे. When you speak to them, some of them.
What else do you expect them to speak? Nobody is going to speak his heart out to you.
You have chosen in this election, ma'am, not to contest. Can you explain that? Why not? Wouldn't it have been better, since you're saying that ballot is the voice rather than the bullet? Wouldn't it have been better if you'd contested?
Well, I have been one of the most powerful chief ministers. We had our own assembly, our own residuary powers, our own flag. I was a chief minister who wrote a letter to separatists and invited them for dialogue. Nobody has done that ever. I was a chief minister who withdrew FIRs against 12,000 youngsters who was there, propagating dialogue all the time, which, chief ministers don't do often except for my father when they are in power. I was the one who dropped 2 BJP ministers for, standing with the rapists of Kutwa case. So I have seen, a very powerful assembly. I have been a very powerful chief minister who could take any decision, in spite of being in alliance with BJP government. So it is, they have reduced the Jammu Kashmir to a union territory. They have downgraded it. They have reduced the government, whichever is going to come into power, to a municipality. So I think my heart bleeds when I think about it. When I don't see my own flag along with the national flag. When I don't see my constitution along with our Indian constitution, which was a part of Indian constitution. So my heart bleeds, and I don't feel like fighting this election.
But your party is fighting. Isn't that a bit contradictory?
No, there is nothing contradictory about it. Our party is fighting elections. Inshallah, we'll be the kingmakers. And if, God willing, there is a chance that we should choose a chief minister from PDP. We have very able, very good and very senior, leadership in our party who can take the
It's interesting, ma'am, that you said that PDP will be kingmaker and not king. So if you will be the kingmaker, who is likely to be the king of Kashmir?
No, anybody can do it. I said we will be the kingmaker in the sense that no government will be formed without our, support. And even king can be from our government.
But if you see, if you've got the NC and the Congress allying on the one side, and
Where
if
is
you've
the
got
alliance? Where is the
कुछ
alliance?
सीटों में friendly fight को छोड़ के तो है
there is
alliance.
no friendly fight. There is fight everywhere. They have put up rival candidates everywhere. If you recall, National Conference put an independent candidate from Ladakh, and they expelled him temporarily. But once he won the seat, he was back.
वो तो लोकसभा में था.
Yeah, that's what they are doing in each and every, wherever they have conceded seat to Congress, they are putting up their independent
No, the
candidates.
point I was making was, kingmaker तो आप बीजेपी के साथ ही हो सकते हो ना, बचा कौन?
No, not at all.
तौबा तौबा.
No, it's not about Tauba. It's about the purpose. The purpose for which my father had aligned with BJP government not BJP party, with BJP government, with Modi ji at the center, was to find a solution to Kashmir problem, as Vajpayee ji had initiated during his tenure a dialogue process with Pakistan, with Hurriyat. Then the roads had started opening, to take that process forward. But since my father passed away, only after 10 months, and then when I was there, I tried my level best. I was able to get many things done, but unfortunately the government did not last because people were not happy with it for PDP aligning with BJP government. So I think now there is no purpose. They have gone against their promise of not touching 370. They have done it unconstitutionally, I would say even illegally, because 370 is a part of Indian constitution and they could not have done it. They have used their brute majority to bulldoze something which they could not do. I mean, as they have brought in CAA, which is against our own constitution, they have done the same with 370. So I don't think there is any scope.
वो राम माधव आ गए, वो तो आपके दोस्त हैं.
नहीं, Ram Madhav is okay. Ram Madhav came and he negotiated for 3 months. First with my father, then with when I was there. I mean, we took 5 months, first 2 months and then 3 months to form the government. And he is again here, and I think his purpose is more to put up more independent candidates so that the vote gets divided, and somewhere maybe they want to benefit some party, I don't know.
No, but this seems to be to the big disadvantage of the PDP, and I'm very keen on your thoughts on this. The fact that there are independent candidates who claim support of the Jamaat-e-Islami. Now that is typically the kind of sentimental vote that the PDP has got in past elections. We've seen Engineer Rashid now out on bail again. He's again got candidates. All of them seem to be taking away your party's vote.
And it's not about my party's vote. It's about, they are taking the vote which is very sentimental. Engineer Rashid's speeches were used in parliament where he says that we need to have plebiscite. We need to have right to self-determination. And then he won this. He did not win the parliament election on roads and, buildings. He won it on sentiment. Again, Jamaat Islami has been banned. So the people who are on ground and who are projecting themselves as Jamaat don't know who they belong to. Because Engineer Rashid was in jail and he did not even have to look for his candidates. Agencies did the whole thing for him.
Are you alleging that Engineer Rashid is acting as a prop of the central agencies?
What else can you think at this point of time? I mean, he was not released when he was needed in parliament. He was in jail, and then the agencies went to, from person to person and picked up candidates for the party.
But voters of Baramulla voted for him. He beat 2 heavyweight candidates.
I said it's a sentiment. It is the sentiment for self-determination, for plebiscite, that made Engineer Rashid a winner. It is the sentiment against 370 that made, scrapping of 370 that made Engineer Rashid a winner. But now people they can see through it, what is happening. Because they feel that again, agencies are playing a huge role. They are going from people to people and they are persuading people to fight on Engineer Rashid's, mandate, and also in the garb of, because Jamaat people, some of them are in jail, some of them are out. Their institutions have been taken up. They are being threatened all the time. So I don't see any, typical Jamaat face.
Why didn't PDP tie up with the Jamaat? That could have made up.
They are banned. How can you tie up with a banned party?
But their candidates are fighting.
No,
independent.
I don't know. Nobody knows who those candidates are.
What are you alleging?
No, I am not alleging anything. Who knows who those candidates are?
They are saying we are Jamaat independent.
No, anybody, even I can tomorrow, some person can say A, B, C, D, I am a Jamaat candidate. How do you prove that?
तो आपको लग रहा है नकली जमात है?
Because Jamaat is banned.
So you are saying this is nakli Jamaat?
I don't know. Jamaat is banned.
No, but there is an existential...
And the candidates who are, I don't think any one of them belongs to Jamaat Shura.
But there is an existential challenge. The sentiment of Kashmiriyat and the Kashmiri people, which was earlier being captured by the PDP, is now veering towards either these independents...
No, you are wrong.
I'm looking at the Lok Sabha data and...
No, forget about Lok Sabha data. It's not happening. People understand it. The sentiment is still with PDP because they know PDP is the only party that stood for the resolution of Kashmir problem, who were able to get things done on that front. roads opened, dialogue with Pakistan, dialogue with Hurriyat. Even during my tenure, when I was the chief minister with BJP, I mean, a delegation, a very powerful delegation came from Delhi. Even Arun Jaitley was there. Many of them went to the door of these separatists, but they did not open their door, which was a pity, which was very unfortunate. So people know that PDP is the only party who are very serious for the resolution to facilitate the resolution of Kashmir issue.
Do you now regret that alliance with the BJP? Do you think it was your biggest mistake? Has it in some ways delegitimized you and your party in the eyes of some Kashmiri voters?
It has been very difficult. I know it has been very difficult, but I will not say it was something that I feel it was a mistake done by my father. No, my father had very honorable intentions. He wanted to resolve because he thought he was at the fag end of his life. So he wanted to do something for the people of J&K. He wanted to take them out, and he had worked with Vajpayee towards that resolution. Had my father got 6 continuous years as chief minister, I am saying with authority that Kashmir issue would have been resolved to a great extent.
What do you think will be the end outcome of this assembly election? We've seen a lot of voter enthusiasm, but it's spreading in different ways. Do you think ultimately it will coalesce towards the alliance that seems most formidable, or are you expecting a split hung house?
Well, I tried my level best that all the secular forces should go together, including
क्यों नहीं हुआ?
PDP.
गुपकार alliance आपने बात
I
की
don't know. I think somehow National Conference felt overconfident. And they thought that they are going to sweep everything, and so why should they, share something with PDP? Naturally, PDP is the main opponent party to National Conference. But we should have fought together so that all these proxies would not have mushroomed. But now, since that has not happened, we have to face it, and I am sure that, as I said earlier, PDP is going to be one of the most formidable forces, which you cannot ignore.
Are you hoping that statehood will be restored soon after this assembly election gets over? What's your sense?
My sense is that New Delhi is trying to disempower, disfranchise Kashmiris with each and every passing day. They are, punishing even the people of Jammu to teach a lesson to Kashmiris.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because, their policy is anti-Muslim, and Jammu Kashmir is a Muslim majority state. They want to make an example out of Jammu and Kashmir as a Muslim majority state. What all we can do to them.
No, but
otherwise, have you ever heard a state being demoted to union territory?
No, sure.
Does it ever happen?
But they've also promised to make it a state.
Again, they have given all the powers to the lieutenant governor. I mean, as Umar said that he's not going to fight elections because he doesn't want to go to, LG's door and beg for the transfer of a peon.
But he's changed his mind.
That is up to him, whatever he does. But, just imagine a chief minister going to a lieutenant governor for a small transfer. So what they have done to this princely, which was a princely state, which was a small mini India in itself.
If we leave aside the terror attacks in the Jammu region, do you
Why should we leave them aside?
No, I'm saying at least in the Kashmir Valley.
No, why should we leave aside Jammu? Because Jammu was the most the peaceful place.
No, sure, that's a problem. I'm saying at least in the Kashmir Valley, do you accept that the law and order is much better than it used to be?
Alienation is much more than the law and order. You can't imagine how alienated, because whenever we meet at social functions, maybe marriages or funerals, I have seen young girls coming to me and telling me, how bad they feel about everything, but they can't speak up. But boys can't speak up.
It's a situation where the other side of it is that tourism is booming again.
Yeah, tourism is fine. Tourism was there even before, militancy started. Tourism is a very good thing. It's a great thing. But the cost people of Jammu and Kashmir are paying for it is huge. It's not huge. It's an emotional cost. Saying we have scrapped 370, so everything has become nice, is like, sprinkling salt on your wounds.
Your daughter is contesting from the family bastion. Do you see Iltija come and take over from you in time? Is she being groomed to be your successor?
No, of course. She's not a person that needs any grooming, She was there when Article 370 was scrapped. She spoke for the people. Nobody was speaking at that point of time. And she spoke her heart out, She was very bold. And today she started her election from the bastion, from where my father had started, I had started. I think, you know, she's her own person.
आपकी नहीं सुनती हैं?
No, she has her own, you know, thought process. We have arguments, but I think she has her own thinking. She is young, she's of a different generation, so she has her own thinking process. At times she listens to me, at times she doesn't, but I think she is mature enough to take care of things.
And finally, what's your big hope from this assembly election? Like once the results are out, because it is the commencement of the political process after 10 years of abeyance, right? So in that way, it's a big step by itself.
Why should be a big step? It's a very sad thing that Kashmiris have to celebrate an election, a state which enjoyed enormous powers, the most powerful assembly in the country. Today they have to celebrate that they are being given an election. How unfortunate it is. This is what you call it's a part of India. ये हमारा अटूट अंग है. And I mean, you have destroyed a place, and now you feel you made, in a way, you made many of the political parties beg for election.
Your manifesto has things like wanting to bring back Article 370. Do you think that's actually at all possible in the current circumstances, given?
For the resolution of Kashmir problem, where we could have started, where government of India would have started from this, they would have, you know, covered certain steps. Now they will have to go back. It's going to be their burden, because Kashmir issue needs a resolution for the overall, you know, peace of this region. You see, China has already taken 4,000 square kilometers of our land, but BJP is not talking about it.
How are you seeing what's unfolding in Pakistan right now?
That is something that I think I am not living in Pakistan. What is unfolding there is not something very good, but I see a very vibrant judiciary working there. I mean, out of something which is happening there is not, it's very, you know, it's very bad the way things are there. But I would say the judiciary is doing a great job, and even the, you know, the media. But when I compare it, you know, to India, we have a, you know, we have a very, we'll say, growing. We are a huge and very fulfilling democracy here, and which Pakistan lacks even at this point of time. But I should give it to their judiciary; they are doing a great job, in spite of, you know, having military as a most powerful establishment. They are able to stand up to you, which unfortunately, you know, our own Chief Justice said that the lower courts are too scared to give bail to people, and there isn't much, you know, nice things to say about our judicial system at this point of time.
Mehbooba ji, you've spoken your heart. You've presented your views to the viewers and to the voters. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking out time and joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.